Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. I'm running a little bit late this morning, but it's probably nothing unusual. Just have already been out and having to run errands this morning, so everything always seems to take a little bit longer than planned. So I'm just getting set up, make sure I've got everything here that I need. Tried to set up before I left, and then you know how that goes at the very last minute. There's like this panic of did I do it? Did I remember? So I'm gonna give just a minute. I'm gonna just want to make sure I'm live, make sure everybody can see me. Oh, there we go. I can see it. Okay. Just add a title into this post, and then we're going to get started right away on crafting. So if you've been following my page for the last week or so, I have been featuring the Silly Old Bear Suite with this paper. So, with the pack of paper. So I've been making a ton of cards with this, and I absolutely love them. And so what I did for today is I picked out two of my favorites, and we're going to remake those. One of them has a really cool coloring technique, which if you follow my page, you probably already saw the graphic for it, but I wanted to do it live also. And that's where I'm realizing I did not bring everything I need, but okay, I'll have to run at one point, but okay, so let's get started. We are using today the Designer Series paper, the Sweet Old Friends bundle, and the Sweet Words and Labels. And the first card we're gonna make, let me bring this over here, is a remake of a card that I made earlier this week. I made this card, but I haven't shared it yet. And I absolutely love it. I just think it's so sweet. But I want to remake it a little bit different, because as I was getting everything ready, I realized that there's a paper that I have not used yet out of the pack, and that's this one. So we're going to remake this card using this paper. Sorry, I'm trying to open up my video just to where I would be able to see comments, because I can see that I have people watching. I'm just not seeing any comments, and that is sometimes a problem that I have. So just know that if you're here, I appreciate the comments. If I don't see them right away, I will make sure to go back later and answer any comments and say hi to everybody. So, okay, so let's get started. So we're using this paper from the Designer Series paper. I have the Hydrangea Hue ribbon. I love this ribbon. I've got my scissors here. I know I don't have everything. I'm realizing this as I go along. This is what I get for prepping at 6 a.m. this morning. But that's okay. We're just going to make this card work anyway. So I have a bone folder this week. I'm so proud of myself. I used free shipping couple weeks ago, and I bought two of these because I keep losing them. And I always say the fastest way to find your missing craft supply is to replace it. And sure enough, the day after these came, I found one of my other ones. Okay, so let's get started. I have my card base. I have this cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And then I scored it at 5 1/2 to create the tent fold card. And the reason I chose to do the fold on the top is because the ribbon, I want to tie the ribbon all the way around the front. So you see it on the inside. And so I needed that top fold to be able to do that. So I am going to attach this. And this is probably why I haven't used this print yet, is because it's on the back of all these really pretty scenes. But I'm going to use one of these scenes today too. Usually what I do when there's paper like this, where there's scenes that I want to preserve, I'll save one piece for that, and then another piece for the back side of the prints. That way I don't accidentally cut into something, one of the scenes that I want, or one of the characters that I would die cut. So these are the characters that we're gonna use. I really love this one, but I've used this a couple times already, so I wanted to do this. And I don't think I've done anything with Eeyore yet, so that we definitely needed to use that. So let me grab those dies. And my machine. I've got my little guy with me today. Just this little one. I'm just gonna get that out of here. And we're opening up a new set of plates. I love opening new plates. This is something else that I always stack up on when there's free shipping. Okay, so I'm gonna die cut this out. So if you watched my last couple videos, I've kind of been talking a lot about crafting during chaos, about how it's important that we take time for ourselves to do the things that we enjoy, whether it's crafting or gardening or whatever it may be, even when life seems like it just isn't time for it. So that's part of why I'm making the cards that I'm making today. So having a paper like this, and Stampin' Up! Comes out with these quite often, where there's a paper that's printed, and it has the dies. Of course, there's stamps, the stamp set. So when you run out of paper, you've got the stamps that you can do. And I love to stamp and color and die cut, but just some days I just feel like I don't have the time, or if I'm stressed out, I don't want to decide what color I want to. You are supposed to be hydrangea hue. Should he be smoky slate? Who knows? And so I don't want to make those decisions because life is just crazy and hectic some days. And so this is an easier way to still get these super cute images on days that I'm too busy to color. And then start from scratch. So I start with something that's already made, and it just makes my card making go a little bit faster. And I honestly I probably have all these images already cut out somewhere, because I've already gone through, I've used it so many times, and every time I do, I just cut out a couple extras and put them in a clear envelope and keep them together. I don't have them with my paper right now, but that's where I usually keep it. And then that way, when I need them for a quick card, they're already done. So that's why I'm using these today. That kind of goes along with my crafting during chaos. And let me tell you, this week has been chaos. That's why I didn't do my live yesterday. It was like one thing after another. And as I was on my way out the door to come to work, my husband's doctor's office called to confirm a procedure he's having on Monday. And the guy says, well, where did you get your blood work done? Because we haven't gotten the results yet. They had sent me the paperwork to do it, but we never received it. So I ended up having to last minute take time off work to go and take him to get his blood work done so he can have this procedure. But I had to go to work because I'm taking Monday off to take him to the procedure. So then I ended up going into work at the time I normally get off work. And so doing a live yesterday just was not happening. And I was kind of questioning my sanity doing it today either, but that's okay. So I was late because I had to drive my husband to dialysis, and everything always takes longer when you're in a hurry, right? Okay, so let's play with this a little bit. I've already die cut the label that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the same sentiment. And I thought that this would be cute with 2 characters also, like on either side. And I just like to kind of lay things out and look at them. Now on this one I have a strip of torn paper. I forgot to cut that strip, so I'm just going to leave it off for this card. But I am going to do the ribbon. We're going to put the ribbon under here. So Eeyore will be over here and Pooh, so they're looking at each other. I'm going to save this for the inside of the card. And then on this card, these leaves are with the dies that go with the stamped images. And they're very small, and I felt like they kind of got lost in here. So this one is from the set, the Sweet Words and Labels, and so I cut those out. Yeah, I like that. Definitely like the bigger ones better. So we're going to use the bigger ones. And so this is what our card is going to look like. This is how I design. Is this what you guys do? Am I the only one who does this? I like to just lay everything out before I stamp, before I start gluing things down. Make sure it's all going to fit, especially if I'm changing things up just a little bit. It doesn't always work. Okay, so I need a block. That's what I forgot. I went in the other room to get it and didn't get it. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I am back. I grabbed the white paper that I also needed. Okay, so let's grab our sentiment. This is the set, if you're not familiar with it. A lot of Pooh sayings in there. My favorite sentiment is this one that says, "I will love you until forever and even after that." I think that's my favorite one. It just didn't work for this card. So, and this is a good one too. So I'm just gonna stamp this in the middle, maybe up just a tiny bit because of the characters that are gonna be overlapping it a little bit. Go. Okay. And do I have dimensionals in here? No. I really did think I was mostly prepared for today, but this video is proving me wrong. I'm gonna move my camera just a bit and see that you're get you more on the desk. Okay. So if you're coming on or if you're watching the replay, make sure you say hi. I always can see how many people are watching, but nobody ever comments. Well, Janet does, but she's not here today. Or not here yet anyways. So make sure you say hi. Tell me who's your favorite character out of these stories. I asked that on my Facebook page, and I used ChatGPT to make the graphic to go along with it, and it wouldn't let me. I had to ask if it was the bear, the tiger, the donkey, or the pig. It wouldn't let me ask like actual character names. I've had a really hard time this week with ChatGPT and trying to do some of my graphics. Okay, I'm going to put the bow over on this side this time. Probably cut a little too much. show you this. So next week when online exclusives start on July 1st, there's a new pair of scissors coming out. Stampin' Up's a manufacturer of the original scissors stopped making them, and so they had to find a new manufacturer, so they've been unavailable for a while. This is an original pair. I put a ribbon on it because these are my ribbon scissors. They're still really sharp, so I decided to use them for ribbon. And then this is the new pair. So if you look at them, they look identical. They've got the same cover on them. You can't, from looking at them, you can't really tell the difference. The only thing I will say is this handle feels just a little bit different. It's not quite as smooth. It actually almost feels like it has a little bit of a grip to it, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to use these for my paper scissors because they'll be, with that grip, they won't slide around in my fingers. So those will be available on July 1st, I believe. So now I feel official because I have ribbon scissors and paper scissors. I feel like I've accomplished something there. Hi, Janet. Janet is here. Thanks for saying hi, Janet. I was just saying, nobody ever says hi. I can see if there's people watching, but I can't see if they don't comment, I don't know who they are. I says, but Janet always comments, but Janet's not here today, but she is now. So now my day's complete. Okay, so let's put this on our label. If you're just joining me, this pink card is a card that I made earlier this week that I absolutely loved, but never got around to sharing. I had so many cards to share. I have more, a lot more. I'm gonna have to come back and revisit this suite again. But I wanted to recreate this one, but I wanted to make it the blue because I realized I hadn't used this paper at all on anything. Okay, so we're gonna put Eeyore down there, it looks like. That's where he's gonna fit. Oops, I bent him a little bit. And we're gonna put Pooh over here. So let's get dimensionals on them. The Eeyore is so cute. I don't know. I hadn't used him and I hadn't used the Tigger. So look, we're using both of those today. Okay. Put them up there. Okay. So then let's stick a few of these leaves in here just for another embellishment because I cut them. So I was die cutting like crazy this morning. I don't know why I couldn't sleep. I got up. I'm not a morning person, so for me to be up and running my die cut machine at 6:30 in the morning is like really unusual for me. My poor husband had to listen to it. And this one needs to go over on this side somewhere. Not sure where. I think I'm gonna put it right there. Yeah, these leaves definitely stand out better than the leaves on this one, because of the size and because the color is a little bit different. I love this. This is Barely Blush, this pink. This is the in color, but it's so light that it's sometimes hard to see. Okay, for embellishments, this is not part of the suite. These are the in color butterflies, and I think I've put them on every single card that I've made with this suite because they just fits in so perfect. So let's add a few butterflies on here. gonna do 3, my typical 3 of everything. And there we go for the front of the card. Where's our... Okay, and then I've got these honey pots, and we're gonna put these on the inside. I'm trying to be better about decorating the inside of my cards, but I'm gonna be honest, I've been saying that for like 10 years, and I'm still not any better at it. But I did think of it today, so. Put it over here. And so there we go. We have a finished card. I don't think I put anything, no, nothing on the inside of this one. So, I love this. I think this is so cute. I love this whole suite, though. Okay, so, oh wow, you guys can see everything on my desk. This stuff's like pushed, like the tray and this bird and all this that you can see. It's like pushed way to the back of my desk. I don't know why you guys are, why my camera's picking it up. Maybe I'm angled a little bit. Let's see if this is better. Okay, so that was card number 1. So for card number 2, here's another time saving. I cut these out. I'll cut out a bunch of them at a time when I've got extras, and I just keep them in my case. Then they're there next time I make a card. I will have them ready to go. Okay, let's clean up a little bit and then make our next card. I'm going to need that again, so I'm just going to leave that out. Put these guys back before I lose them. Which I'm already thinking I don't know what I did with the... Seemed to be short one. I'll find it. Can't go too far. Clean my stamp. Oops. So I've mentioned this before. My favorite way to clean the stamps. I feel like whenever I use the chamois, I must just be I'm just messy. My fingers always end up covered in ink with the chamois. So I use the Stampin' Mist. My bottle's all misshapen. Don't know why. And a microfiber cloth. I stamp directly, or right onto the stamp right now because this color, the early espresso, tends to stain the stamps a little bit more than some of the other colors, but otherwise I usually just spritz it right onto my microfiber cloth and then just use that during my whole stamping session. Okay, so for the next card, we are going to do a little bit of a technique. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to. I'm like really messing you guys up there. Okay, I think I've got you stable now. So I shared a technique earlier this week, just with a graphic, and we're gonna do that. And that was how I colored these guys. Let's set them here and see if my camera will pick them up. So I loved how these turned out. This is a super simple coloring technique that does not take very much skill whatsoever. But every time you do it, your results are a little bit different. So this may not be for some people. Some people might not like this because you really don't have a whole lot of control over it. But I have fun with it, and I think it's super easy, and so I wanted to share it with you. And that is using your acrylic block for stamping color. So this is how I did it. I'm sure there's other ways to do this, but normally I would cut my paper down, but because I forgot to bring the paper and I just grabbed it, we've got a whole sheet here. That's okay, I'll cut down after I do it. Now open up my ink pad. I'm using Golden Glow. We're gonna just start with Pooh. So I just smush it into my ink pad. You can see, I think you can see that where it picks up the ink. This is a very well inked since it's a new color. I'm gonna tap, see if I get some of it off. There we go. So it's kind of even. I do see that I've got some parts in there where I don't have as much ink, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. And then I'm just gonna stamp it onto my paper, and I just let it sit there for a moment. Let the ink kind of soak in. Oops, I did not mean to smear it, but that's okay. And that's all. And I'm leaving it just like that. There is a lot of, I'm going to do it one more time, just because there's a lot of white in here than I normally get. Like I said, there's like no way to control this. You just kind of get what you get. I will tell you from doing this technique several times that you don't want to swipe your ink pad, at least not as your block across the ink pad, at least not as your final. If you need to do that to color, to really get the ink on there, that's okay, but make sure you finish it off by tapping it. Otherwise you will get streaks on your cardstock, and you don't want that. Okay, so I've got 2 to pick from. I think this kind of filled in a little bit as it was drying, maybe. And then I just clean my block with the same thing, the same microfiber cloth, and with my Stampin' Mist. Make sure you get it good, because we're going into another color, and I don't want to contaminate my ink pads. So let's set the Golden Glow aside. And I haven't tried it with this color yet, but Tigger seems like he should be colored in with Timid Tiger. So, that's what we're gonna do. So I think this will work. If you get too dark of a color, you won't see your stamping, but I think this color will be okay. And this ink pad, again, has a ton of ink on it because I don't like orange. Okay, so this is gonna come out really dark. I'm gonna actually stamp this twice and then decide which one I like the best. So there's my first stamping. Oh, I didn't get very much at all off the second one. And there's my second one. So, I don't know. I'm actually gonna stamp Tigger on both and then see which one I like the best. So I'm gonna clean this off before I forget that it's covered in ink. Grab my stamps. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna bump you again, I'm sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. I put that ink pad away and then remembered I needed it. So when I did Eeyore, I'm gonna point this out. So I'm not gonna be doing this today, but I colored his, the bow. As long as you use an alcohol marker like our Stampin' Blends, it will not run this ink because they're different kinds of ink. So it won't reactivate this the background ink. So you can use a darker Stampin' Blend to still color over top of it, and it won't blend it at all. It won't mess up what you did. So I was able to do that on that one. Okay, what we're gonna do, forgot which Winnie the Pooh I was going to do. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's do this one. And the one of him sitting, which is the same one I already did. But. So I've got these splotches. I can decide, like, do I want one of the splotches to be on there? Do I want it kind of see through there and see how it's going to color it in? I'm going to go over here where I can get the most color. So it kind of gives you like a mottled, splotchy, vintagey look, which I think goes perfect with this suite. I think it's a really good technique for that. This technique also works really well with anything that's like nature related. So for flowers, leaves, anything nature related, I think is works really well with it. Okay, and then we have Tigger. So, and I'm going to stamp them on both of these and see which one I think looks the best. That looks cute. Let's see what he looks like on the dark one. Try to incorporate some of those splotches. Oh, now I don't know. Janet, help me. Are you still there? Somebody tell me. Go with the darker one or the lighter one? Okay, let's grab my scissors. I'm gonna trim this a little bit and then I'll die cut it. Well, I like both. I can't decide. I guess maybe when the card... Okay, Janet's saying the lighter one. I'm going to die cut both of them. And then when I lay the card out, we can decide for sure. Probably go with Janet's suggestion. Cut them out and then see what they look like. Yeah, I think that's kind of my go-to. I need to see things visually layered on top of each other. And I haven't even shown the whole card yet, so. Okay, so there's the light one. See, I got so much ink in this ink pad that the paper curled a little bit from it. I just don't use orange very often. Unless it's Halloween. Oh, that one. That's okay. It's shifted a little bit, but I think it's okay. So this is the card that we're remaking, but different. So for this one, I did this technique to do the bear, and I also did the honey pot. What I'm doing different on this one is I wanted to use a different color of cardstock because I feel like I keep using the same 3 colors or 3 or 4 colors. So we're using Cajun Craze. And then instead of the printed background, I did the embossing. This is called I think it's the 100 Acres embossing folder. It's the one that goes with the sweep. So let's attach that one. And then for the scene that I chose, this is the scene. It's the tree with the door in it, and I made sure to get the owl. I already die cut it using the frames. This die set, I'm going to start using this for more than just this suite, because these dies, they're so versatile. I hope that Stampin' Up! Keeps those for a long time. Okay, and then I'm putting, layering it on the next size up, doing the Cajun Craze again. And I just did a bunch of leaves, and there's some acorns in here. I'm going to wait and see how I want to embellish it once I get it together. And then I cut the label for the sentiment already. So let's put these together. I know that they're going to go together, so we can do that. So what do you guys think of this coloring technique? Is this something that you would try? I think it's an easy way to get color down, like, really fast without worrying about shading. Okay. So where'd my poo go? Here's poo. Oh, this wasn't the poo I wanted to do. I wanted them to be facing each other. I had a different one picked out. I'm going to have to do it because I don't like that. Okay, we're bringing the die cut machine back in here. Good thing I stamped this twice. Let me get rid of this excess paper here. I knew I had thought about it. Like, I had put thought into which Winnie the Pooh I wanted to use. But again, it was early, and I'm not a morning person. Okay. So let's stamp this again. Stamping in early espresso. And there we go. In fact, since I can, I'm gonna grab I'm gonna color in his pot. I'm gonna use, that's in the wrong spot. Okay, I'm gonna use the old olive, I guess, and just color in this little pot. There we go. Now I'm getting all kinds of ideas. What do I have up here? Do I have my white gel pen? No, I don't. I do have a Wink of Stella, so let's put a little bit of glitter on his the top of the pot. I don't know if that will even be enough to show in the label. Well, that was unplanned. Okay, so let's do that. I have gel pens, but I had to move some things out of the way, so I think I must have moved them. Okay, so let me trim this down a little bit so I can fit it through that little die cut machine. I've got to tell you, when they introduced this little machine, I didn't think that I needed it. Well, I honestly, truly did not need it, but I didn't know that I would actually use it. But I love it. I use my big one a lot too, but I think I probably use this one more. It's just convenient. I can just like set it right in front of me and die cut. I'm surprised, honestly surprised how much I use it. But then when Stampin' Up! Came out with the Big Shot, that was when I first joined Stampin' Up! And I had just started into card making, so it was like 2008. And I told my husband about it. I had gone to a party and had seen it, and was telling my husband about it, and he's like, oh, you should get it. It was like October, November. He says, I'll get it for you for Christmas. And I said, I don't think we should waste the money on that. I don't know how much you said get out of it. Gosh, I had no idea then what this hobby was going to lead me to. But he did buy it for me, and I'm really happy that he did, because I've been through several die cut machines. So Janet's now saying the darker one. I think so too. I think this one just doesn't quite go. I think we need the dark one. And I need to stamp the sentiment first before I can place the characters to make sure I don't cover that up. So let's see, where is that stamp set? And I'm going to do, I had figured out a couple of them that we could do. Old friends are the best friends. It never hurts to keep looking up. And you deserve a little treat. I'm going to do old friends are the best friends, because Pooh and Tigger are old friends. So that one's what makes sense, right? Okay, so let me clean this. I lost my cloth. Oh, there it is. Okay, I hope we're still on here. My phone rang. I forgot to put my phone on silence, or on do not disturb. Actually, I'm afraid I'm going to be getting a phone call from Kmiec, so I'm kind of was leery to put it on do not disturb this morning. So please excuse the interruption, but sometimes it's necessary. That one wasn't, though. Okay, so here we go. Old friends are the best friends. And I stamped that in Cajun Craze. Another one of my very well inked pads, because I don't use that color hardly ever. I need to get better at using all my colors. I like them all, I really do, but kind of get in a rut sometimes. But I'll blame it on Stampin' Up, because if they don't put the color in a printed paper, I'm probably not using it. Even if I love it. Okay. Lots of dimensionals. Dimensionals make me happy. I'm just going to center this. Oh, let's see. Just a little bit above, a little bit higher than centered. Though I'm probably not really centering it, since I don't have my grid paper underneath me to tell me if I have everything centered. Okay, and I'm going to put that just like along the bottom, kind of cover the bottom up a little bit. And then, before I do that, will Tigger still fit on there if I do that? We might have to raise them up a little bit higher. Yeah, that looks cute. I think that we'll do it that way. So So these cards today were supposed to be part of the Creating with Chaos series. Creating in Chaos series. I haven't really talked about that, but I did use the scene to make the background, and a quick coloring technique for the animals. So, and done with this series because I'm bored with it already. Is that really bad to say? But I kind of am. But you will hear me quite often talk about my life being chaotic and how I craft despite of it. Even though everybody thinks that I should not be taking the time to do this. But I don't know. Sometimes you gotta take care of yourself too, right? Okay, I don't know about these leaves. I kind of felt like the card was giving off some fall vibes. And these leaves kind of go along with it. But I also have these little acorns. And I like those now that I'm looking at them. They need to be assembled though. I'm going to use this little spot. This is where I would use a silicone mat if I was, if I had it at this table. The silicone mat is great for when you're assembling like little die cuts. That is so cute. This is definitely going on this card somewhere. Maybe we're gonna do acorns instead of butterflies on this one. I think we are, because these are really just too cute to not use. I didn't really set out to make a fall themed card, but once I got putting the elements together inside my tray, I was like, oh, they kind of go, so we should kind of just go with the flow with what it's already putting off. So, that was cute. And we'll do one little one. Maybe I should do two little ones and just one big one. Let's do one more little one. How does that go? I think like that. Goodness. Thought I was done with the sweet. Now I've got, or almost done with it. Now I'm in love with these leaves and I'm not done. You're gonna see more of this. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so let me put these, glue all this down. I don't have anything glued. We'll do 3 leaves, 3 acorns. Tuck these in here. That glue takes just a second to kind of really grab. Okay, so let's, oh, I already did my characters. Okay, so the acorns, I'm gonna add this big one over here, I think, and then kind of sprinkle it in like that. How's that look? Janet, where are you? Okay, I like it on the leaf, but then I don't know where to put the third one. So we're gonna go like this. Or are we going I'm so indecisive. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going with. Sometimes you just need to make a decision and then live with it, right? Okay. This is card making. This is not like life or death situations here. That looks cute there. Okay. I am happy with this. I'm happy with my results. So there we go, card number 2. I did not bring anything to finish the inside. And I can see that Tigger's tail is going to cause a little bit of an issue. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue. Just a dot, not a lot. Hold his tail down so he doesn't lose it. So there we go. So we have this card. And where's the one that I am buried over here? We have the original. So both of these are using that technique with the coloring. And there's my extra little poo that I did. And my extra Tigger. So we have those. And then the first 2 cards. Oh, and can't forget Eeyore. And then here's the first card we did. And that is a remake of this card that I made earlier this week, but hadn't shared on Facebook yet. So there we go. These are my cards for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me and for following along. Hopefully you were inspired to create something today. Take a little bit of time for yourself in a crazy, hectic schedule and do a little bit of crafting or something that you enjoy, something that brings you joy. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you all next week. I am going to attempt to come back to Friday at 3:45 like I had been doing, but I think I've made it pretty clear that my schedule just changes on a constant basis. So that's my aim. If not, it will be Saturday, but I will let you know. Thanks so much for following me, and I will see you all soon. Bye.